Hi everybody, Adam here. Welcome back to our Lego room. In today's update video, we've got a lot of different things to cover. We've received a lot of exciting Bricklink orders, which we will be using to build a number of trains and other buildings and structures around our layout. And we've been working on several additional modulars and other buildings for the layout. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at everything that's been going on. So first off, let's take a look at some of the Bricklink orders that we've been receiving. Lots of great parts coming in for various projects that we are working on. Now, you'll remember from our recent videos that we are looking a lot into trees and vegetation for around our layout, and we've been picking up a number of things to aid in that. Lots of great bush parts here, and lots of great leaves. Really love some of the different colors here. We've got the yellow ones, the light green ones, and it doesn't necessarily come through very well in the bag there, but there's the dark green ones as well. So we've been getting those bigger leaf parts. We've also been picking up a number of the smaller leaf parts as well in different colors that we can use throughout the trees and other vegetation that we are building. Now, in addition to that, we've got some of the flower stem parts here, some of the smaller leaves. And I think over here, oh yes, we've got the brown stems as well. So lots of great parts that are going to go into the construction of those trees that we're looking to build. So definitely keep an eye out for an upcoming video, probably a couple of videos. We'll do a video as we sort of unpack and sort all of the plant-related parts into the additional DeWalt storage containers that we've picked up. So we'll do a video on that, look at all the different parts that we've picked up and how we're breaking them down and storing them in the DeWalt containers. And then we will do a couple videos highlighting the different trees and plants that we're putting together and where we're starting to use them around the layout. Now, another big reason that we've been picking up a number of parts is that a while ago we talked about adding brick-built roads to our layout. And if you remember, we looked at this Mills roadway that we learned about from Neil Snowball. And there's a great piece that he wrote up on the Vancouver Lego Club website that I'll link below. Highly recommend checking that out to see all the details about the different types of roads that he talked about there. But I think that this will look and work really well with our layout and will really be a nice finishing touch to the front exterior of the layout here in front of all of these modular buildings, and will allow us to then start putting some vehicles and various minifigures and sort of activities going on down the roadway and down the layout here. So we picked up, I made the decision. This example one that I put together here is using the dark red masonry bricks, which looks cool. And I think we're going to have a few of these probably either around the town hall in the back there on the interior roadway, and possibly near the park space up here. Those are two areas that I could see having kind of a special road out in front. It might make them feel, a little different and cool in that, which I think could work well. But for the rest of the roads, I'm looking at having a black road surface with the obviously the yellow lines going down the middle, and then periodically we'll have the white crosswalks. So that's the goal, and we've been picking up a number of parts to facilitate that. So we've got the 4x8 plates here that are gray for the sidewalk surface, the underneath of the sidewalk surface, and then we'll have the tiling across the top of that. And then we've also picked up a number of 1x8 and 1x6 and some various other size bricks that are in black that will make up that road surface. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to have the yellow road lines and the white crosswalks periodically throughout. So a number of these black parts are going to facilitate that work, and I think that's going to be a really cool touch to have down and throughout the different aspects of the Lego city here, to have those roads. I like the road base plates, but when it comes to, you know, when you're flipping everything over to mills, I think that this could be a really cool and nice touch to just give a nice cohesiveness to everything we're doing in the layout. Now, one other thing that I'm considering with these road mills modules is whether I want to put lighting on the exterior side of the road here. I think it could look cool, you know, and you'd get some really nice lighting on both sides of vehicles that are going up and down the street. Other things that I've thought about for lighting around that is I could see it being really cool to try to work some lighting into some of the headlights on vehicles. I know that Brick Stuff offers some products around that, and I think that some of the other lighting companies do as well. So, you know, I think that adding some additional lighting on the roadway here, whether it be lighting on the, you know, street lights on this side, lights on vehicles in the road, and maybe even some actual traffic lights, you know, with the red, green, yellow. Those are some of the things I'm going to look into a bit more to make sure that the lighting we have doesn't just stop over on the side of the modulars here, that it's kind of cohesive throughout the layout, and we'll experiment with some different options there to see what we can do. One other thing worth talking about with roads before we move on, in addition to doing the straight road modules like this, I'm also going to experiment and see if we can come up with an easy way to do T intersections, and maybe, I don't know if I'm going to have any four-way intersections, but definitely a T intersection would be a great addition, I think, to the straight one here, and maybe even a curved one, or at least a you know, kind of a square curve where you've got the one in and then the one out over here, and the side and the back over here are, you know, sidewalk. I think that those would be some interesting pieces to add here that would let us cover all the different road options that we have around the entirety of the layout. So some things ahead to experiment with, both in terms of lighting and the layout of these road modules. I think that given the modular nature of these road modules, you can lift the entire interior segment of that out if you wanted and swap in a different one. You know, it gives us some interesting options there. We could try to come up with some interesting seasonal options, whether it be snow on the road, or, you know, for some sort of festival or special event, being able to have a special pattern or image on the road. I think that could be cool. So lots ahead to experiment with roads, but I'm really excited that we've got all the parts necessary here to to begin assembling these road pieces and putting them out in front of the modular buildings and seeing how that works out. Now, few other projects that we've been picking up parts for here. We've got these red 2x4 bricks here, which are going to be going into the Mario model that we're building, the Super Mario model from Bricker Builds. Super excited about that. I've been collecting parts and working towards that for a bit, and I think we're getting fairly close. So looking forward to being able to use those parts and come up with, put that amazing model together. So keep an eye out for that. And then the other big one that we've been collecting parts for, you'll notice a lot of yellow and red here, and the great red train plate here. We have been collecting the parts together so that we can finish building our Union Pacific train. And with that, we picked up 4 of these awesome wheel sets, which are getting much harder to find these days. There's not a lot of them left. I believe that these are the last 4 in Canada that I picked up. And that will allow us to finish the A and B locomotive units that will pull these 4 awesome Union Pacific train cars here. You've probably seen in some of my videos, we've got the B unit here, which is almost finished. The main thing that it's missing was the wheels on the bottom there. So we will be able to cover that off now, and then we will be building the main locomotive that will do the pulling of that train. So really excited to be able to finish that train off, and I think it will look awesome to have the complete Union Pacific front to back on that train and moving around the layout. So pretty much have all the parts now that we need with everything that we've been picking up here. So we'll be starting to put that together and keep an eye out for that moving around the layout soon. Now, one of the projects that we've been working on around the layout is getting this wind turbine up and running, and it's now fully functional. Really like how it looks on that end of the layout. And I think it's going to be really cool as we start to do more videos around the layout with the trains moving, to have other items that are moving in the background. And if you're down at street level in the city, you get that view of the turbine over top of the buildings. And so I think it's going to look really nice to see that movement there in the layout. I would like to add some more details around the base of the turbine there. I could see maybe adding in some trees or some other vegetation at a minimum to really sort of get rid of the empty space at the bottom there. But I'm going to keep an eye out in my mind, sort of looking around for other types of structures or details that we can add to the base there. We also have another one of these wind turbines that I'm going to put back together, and I'm not sure where it's going to go on the layout at the moment. It could go at the end over here somewhere. So I'll keep an eye out for spots that works. My thinking is that the winter village is probably going to move underneath the main table and be its own little mini layout and display area underneath one of the main tables. So that would free up the end of the table there for the wind turbine potentially. We've got the forest and mining area that we're going to be building over there as well. So it'll be useful to have some more space in that particular area for some of those structures as they start to go up. Now, as we covered in a recent video, we completed putting the boutique hotel together. Really happy with the look of that modular, and we've added a number of lights to it as well. So we've got the street lights and interior lighting. So really happy with how that's come together. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend going and checking it out. Really happy though with how that's looking and working in the city. And really happy with how the lighting on this end of the layout is coming together. Really starting to look good. And I think as we start to get those road plates finished out in front and add some lighting out on the road there, this end of the table is going to look really cool and should be quite impressive to see. The big task ahead will be fleshing out the lighting on this end of the table. We still have a number of street lights to put in over here, and we'll be doing that as we flip these modulars over to Mills modules. One thing that we have been doing that will go on this end of the layout though is we've been working on the Lego Spider-Man Daily Bugle build. So you can see here we've got some lighting on the front of it, and we're still early days in putting this particular modular, well, it's not really a modular, but this particular structure together. My intention is for it to go in this back row here. I'm not sure exactly where I'll place it, but I think it would be a good, because of the height from it, I think it would be good to have on the back side of the city layout. And it should look nice again as something that you can see over top of the other structures in the city. Should be pretty cool. And I'm interested once we get this built to see where we might be able to work some interior lighting into the building as well, because I think that could be another impressive detail to add to the city. One other thing worth noting is that we've picked up the battery box and the motor that we need for getting our Lego crocodile train motorized. This guy's been sitting in the sidings of our railroad layout for quite a while now, so looking forward to getting him up and running and moving around the layout. So keep an eye out for that as well. I'm going with the powered up approach for now for motorizing it, but I'm not ruling out doing power functions for it at some point. But we'll see how the powered up works initially for it, and then go from there. So lots of parts coming into the Lego room and lots of exciting projects ahead. We've also been picking up parts for some of the other Lego train instruction sets we've been talking about. And we've got a number of parts coming in for our tank cars that we've been talking about making. So lots of great stuff ahead. Definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and keep an eye out for some of these great videos that will be coming out in the coming weeks on the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.